G'day guys, and welcome back to Stitch Up and episode 11, I believe this is episode 11 of our Voxel Tycoon Let's Play series, the Lakes and the Mountains Let's Play that we're doing. Lots of lakes, lots of lovely snow-capped mountains, and in episode 10 we broke through, the metro system broke through this sort of pass here. This was the end station, and we went into an underpass and then went over under Mount Virginia, came out this side, and then we upgraded our trains here, and you can see there's this new kind of 6 carriage train coming across the platform 2 there at Stonington. I believe that's Stonington, is it? Let's have a look at the Stonington station, and here we'll have a look at some passengers jump on. Not too many passengers jumping on there, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 passengers jumping onto this big train here that can carry 6 times 24. So hopefully we get a few more passengers picking up at Stonington there, and then it'll come through, and there's also more trains you'll see here as well, so that's quite good. We've got 4 trains there. They're at a 60-second timer over here, so we'll see how that goes. We might need to do a timer heading in the opposite direction as well. Perhaps here's a good area to do that, but that's not too bad. It was 2 minutes. This episode we're going to do a massive sort of upgrade to this area over here. Of course we have, just check out the user interface there. Yep, there we go. We have 2.5 million. We had 3.5 million last episode, but we did do a fairly big engineering project. Plus we upgraded each of the rolling stock, and each of those were about 470,000. Here we go. Citizens are celebrating mega city at Thames Valley. So Thames Valley is the name of this one here, and we've got this big city town hall. Look at those tall buildings, and that is there, and so that's Thames Valley, and I think I called this Thamesworth. Yes, Thames Valley and Thamesworth. Well, that was interesting. So we'll have to see about that. Maybe we'll be renaming one of those. If you've got any suggestions for the name of maybe Thames Valley, we could change that, although I don't mind that. It's quite good. Maybe Thamesworth is the one we change. Please leave those in the comments, and we'll have a look at those and see whether we're going to be doing some renaming. But what we're going to do in this episode is look at the stone industry and redo this entire freight station sort of mess, because it's coming under pressure. So guys, jump in, enjoy this Stitch Up intro, and I'll tell you what, I'll see you over here in just a sec. Okay, so I'm going to go speed 3, and what I want is no trains in this area, so I'm just going to pause it and we're going to get straight into it. So I think that's probably a good one. Let's pause there. Speed 1 and then pause. Yep, we're back on pause, so that's good. So we've got a bit of money there, 2.5 million, and the ability to loan another 1.1, so it's enough to do this project. Now I've had to think about what I want to do. Essentially I want to make another one of these big stations like that, and I want it to work over here. It's going to be a single directional station, but I'm thinking of running it, instead of running it across ways. See, if I run it here, let's have a look how big it is. It's about that big. I could run it here, but then I'd need a turnaround for these trains coming into it, and the trains would need to then... So if we ran it this way, then trains would come out here and go along the front and in there, and then once they get into here, they'd either go that way or they'd head back down and head down. Or if we run it north-south, then trains that come from here... See, I want the trains to go up and around that, so that means they'd have to be facing northway, which means trains would have to come around here and then turn around. I actually think we've got enough room to run it that way. Let me grab a new station. Industrial station. Oop, not that one. Industrial station. And no. Go stations. Not depots. Stations, please. And we want it just to be industrial. And we've got the freight stations there. So, yeah. And if we do that, let me see, we want this to be, where is it? Here it is here. So we want to turn it, and we want it to be as big as we can. So it's going to be, that's the biggest length. So that's the same length as that. 250 meters. Yep, and then we want it to be as many of these as we can do. So if I put it here, there it is there. So that's the size of the station, yeah? Okay, now here is how it is. So we wouldn't even have to reclaim too much land, actually. I like the idea that it would sit amongst that and we can still preserve some of the lake. I thought it was much, much bigger. I thought it was like a giant, you know. But we could have two of them next to each other, but I'm just not sure about that. I had the idea over here to do that, but I kind of don't mind the idea. That's already underutilized. I think over here, we are going to have to move the road transfer close to it as well. And we are going to have to move these wooden products moving in, but we can convey those along the front there. So I'm tempted just to drop it in and make everything work around it. Now that little tiny bit of lake we can get rid of. And I want it to all be in the single direction, so trains will go in. So trains will need to go round. If I do it like this, I could put it like that, trains will go around it. No, I definitely want it to be like this. And I want trains to be able to head straight in. So they'll come across this bridge and then they'll head into it like that. And then once they've done that, they'll head outwards. But I've got the bridge there as well. And I want to keep the bridge. But if the bridge is there, that's not really going to work, is it? No. Got to think about the approaches and the extra bits on top of it. If you look at the length of it, yeah, you can see how big those areas are there. You know, so let's see about that. I think we're back to this. I think we're bang here. I think this could be it. I think this is a great big flat area and trains can turn around. We can go around the lakes, but they can come into it. And then over there at the top, I think they can all peel off and we could maybe lose a bit of this part here for that lake. But at least then I think that'd work. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Okay, so first thing we'll take off is get rid of that. And let's start to use the control button and just make some decisions here. So let's get this one gone around the same points. Okay, let's get these guys gone around this point as well. I'll use the control button and just get them gone here and here. Yeah. If I use my shift button, I should be able to get rid of both of those. And let's think about what grade these freight trains are at and try and get this all about the same. So I want to preserve this little lake here if we can. Let's go here and let's flatten off. So I think we're just knocking one down, to be honest. So I think we'll do that right behind the depot, just like that for now. Yeah. Okay, so that's nice. And I'm just coming up to, so that's all there. And then we'll see where we want the rest of it to be. We might have to cover this over. So if we do, yeah, we might have to cover that by getting rid of going down and then filling it in. Because if we do that, that'll cover it. And the lake will just be gone like that. Yeah, there we go. We'll just cover it over like that. Make it fairly simple. Okay, so I'm just going to get this part and just try and make it a little bit natural across like that, and we can sort of see what shapes we've got going. But that's essentially that part, nice and flat. And then if we come along here, let's see where we can see the sort of contours of the land. And let's do this. Yep, that's nice. Then we'll leave all that just like that. Okay, we don't want to cut into that lake in any way. Okay, I think that's pretty good for where that's going to be. Let's go ahead now and drop in the station. Just drop the station in there. Okay, here it is here. So this is it. All right, and let's see where we want this station to be. I think there's good, and we can need some expansion over here. Yeah, that could be quite good, I think. Just thinking about the proximity to this town over here. We're essentially replacing this one as well. I will need a road transfer to be across here as well, and I don't have a road on this side, so I may be looking at getting rid of this anyway. Oh, that could be interesting. Yeah, I haven't thought about where the road there's so many different areas I can do this. We need to think of a road transfer being there. And I wonder if I could put a road transfer just in front of it on this side, just running along there. Okay, let's drop him in and put him there. Okay, so this is where it's going to be for now. Okay, and now I just want to see if I'm doing that, and we come across to here, how we can go along the edge of this. So let me try something. I was thinking if I go level and I do this, that'll just create a, no, we don't want that. So let me try and level this out and just see if I can get this to be exactly the height. So it makes a bit of a waterfront like that. There we go. So do those, and then if I get this guy coming in, you got to be careful here, because if you go too far, you'll go above it. So let me just see if I can undo that by doing this. Yeah, good. Okay, so everything's undoable, which is good. If you make a mistake, we can undo it. Yep. Nice. And we're just coming across. And let's do that. Smaller bits now, which is handy. Okay. Fill these guys in here. And this will just allow me to curve this rail around, and we can do some sort of concrete barrier in front of it as well. Put a line straight across. And what we want to do here is just come down. Yep. One more in. Good. Okay, a little bit more of a top-down approach is quite good here. Excellent. Of course, something I think a lot of people are waiting for or requesting in Voxel Tycoon from the developers is the ability to add water. So much of it is creating and modifying your own land, but the adding of water would just be a huge thing for a lot of us to be able to do things like I'm doing now, and also for map creation, especially with the free terrain mod, and how that sort of works out as well. I think that could be quite good. Right, let's while we're there, just get rid of these guys, and let me take this back to. I'm going to leave that there for now, but I'm just going to see where we can curve this around. Now, there was going to be a road, wasn't there? Yes, there was going to be a road. Yes. I was thinking of keeping the road on this side, running it along here on a second bridge next to this, therefore having another lovely bridge. And that would mean that all around here would be the freight loading vehicle terminal, road vehicle, and that means this would actually come along here. Oh, that's nice. Okay, we're getting a plan of what we're doing. Let's do this. So if we go here, and then if I come into there, that means the trains can be aligned with that. This would work quite nicely, and that's them saving all that other room for the car area. That's excellent. Okay, so coming into this now, I just think what we'll do is, let me just see here. It was like that. So I think what we were doing here is 1, 2, 3, 4. So this guy, we're going to go across and into the very earliest, and then across and in. Hang on. Across and in. 1, 2, and over and across here. Yeah, there. And then that is where the line's going to be. And now these guys will be joining up to here. Yep, and that's how we'll get those 4 there. So that means I now need these to turn into each other quite nicely, and I'm hoping that they'll be able to do that. Actually, I like that sort of angle. That's quite nice. Yeah, that's excellent. Good. Okay, that looks nice. That looks like you'd see in a rail line as well, so that's good. We can put some things in the middle here too, some other rail infrastructure, maybe a tank farm or something like that. Okay, this is nice. So let's continue the loop. It's going to be single direction, so trains are only coming into this from below, and these guys, the trains over here, this is them coming back. So trains that are coming back and skipping this station should be able to come along here, use that same line, but instead of turning in, they should come straight across. So from here, they should come straight across. Yep. And then once we're here, those trains should be able to come straight into there. Okay, and that means I can get rid of that, and I can get rid of that, and now shift key for that. Good. Okay, let's now get this guy coming across. Yeah. So here we're coming in from the regular, from the other part of the main part of the freight network, and we need to be able to get into a lot of this. So I think at the moment we're only going to be commissioning one part of it. So let's do it like this. Good. Okay, we'll do the signaling a bit later, so that's nice. And that means that coming out of it, we're doing the same thing. So we're going out and we're going up, and I want the shortest possible. So there, and it's out and up, out, and again with the up, short as possible. Yeah, that should be it there. Right click, just jump off that there, and I can come just above. Now for the middle of this join here, I should be able to come down, and same thing, just make sure we stay connected on the rails. Okay, so from there, I think the thing here is we want to now go around this lake, and I think I'm going to want to put a bridge across that lake, but I also think I need to be I wonder if we could do something visually interesting here as well. Okay, first of all, I think the first thing to do is use the terrain mod and grab the outside line and just join that up to there. Okay, and then straight across, let's do that to there. Okay, at least then we know what we're doing. Now, the bridges can only be, the bridges across this can only be done at right angles. So to the voxel as well, to the actual voxel lines. So I could put a bridge across here, but then it'd need to be up and on raised section here. So I think what we could do, rather than going round there, is let's try for a bridge across this section and just see if we need to. Okay, let's do that. So let's go up a section here, and this is only single direction, this one. It doesn't need to be, so if I do 3, it's just one piece of rail. So if I do that, and I come to, say, here, yeah, I need to correctly do that, so let me come down again, yeah, and I go to there, and I come to here and here, and now I'm sort of doing a bit of an abutment there, and he comes out, yeah, good. Okay, so that's one above. Now to come down here, get down on one section there, hang on, 1, 2, 3, he's really going to be there and there. And then if I come to this, I want to go up one. Do I want to go up one? Yes, I do. If I come up one like that, and then join him like this, then there's your abutment. Okay, so those should line up with each other, and the bridge should be able to connect between those two. And that visually will just look like we're preserving the lake and working around it. Now the other thing as well is, Our reasoning behind doing this is so that we stay away from the stone mine, because we want to be able to mine all this area here. So we probably turn and then come straight across as soon as we can and get across there. And that'll stay away from the stone mine and then come around. But it also probably gives us a chance to put some nice bridges in too. Now these are single tracks. Let me put that on the middle. Okay, if I go there and I do bridge, build the bridge, and I don't want it to be, let me go grade, let me go down to 0. I'm at 1. Yeah, I want it down to 0. And that's an arc bridge, a regular bridge. Let's have a look at the other ones. So there's a cast iron bridge, and we want that to be a bit nicer than that. Let me go for a wide arch bridge. And this one's going to be a GWR cast iron bridge. So I think, let me try for this. Okay, I might be able to fix this with moving some of this. Put that back in. And then if I come down to here and just go right the way down and then drop him down again. Let me see if that'll work. So we go bridge, we go down to 0, and then we do that one there. And now that's looking better. That is looking good. Let's do it. Yeah, single bridge, that is looking excellent. The only thing I just want to do there, we've got a little bit of an issue underneath with the water. So perhaps what we can do here to make this look, we want things to look good as well. So let's do that there. Just do that part under that, like that. That's not too bad actually, that's all right. I don't mind that. Again, if we had the ability to move water around, then that'd be good, but since we don't, it's got to be like that. And if I do that and just put it underneath as well, it just looks like the arch has come out from sort of a different part of the foundations. Okay, good. Okay, so that's that. And then if we're coming across, let's see if I'm going here. Can I do the rail and will it stay? It will. If I do a right angle there, that's perfect. Let me do this all the way up to here, stay up on one above, and we come to there. And now if I come across here and I go B for bridge, yeah, that's the shortcut there. And let me turn on the cast iron bridge here. Oh, that's quite good. Hang on, am I at 0? I need to be up 1, I think. Yeah, because I'm already +1 there, so if we do it like this, oh, that works out nicely. So that will be there. 91,000, we're on pause, so we could get the refund if it's no good. Yeah, that works out nicely. So straight across the middle of that lake, and we love those big long bridges. And what we're doing is preserving this stone mine quite well. So that's all excellent. I need to make sure that we can get across here. I think we're just going to have to use the terraforming actually. Let's see what we got here. Let me just join those up. Just join a few of these up here and just see if we can get this to look quite nice. I think we can actually. If we come across a little bit more, let's do that. Let's come right across there. Okay, good. And we can always tinker with how this looks once we just let it settle. If I do that and that, okay, that's nice, good. Okay, so trains will come in here from either section. They come in, collect what they need to. We've got the area for a road freight area over there. They'll come around, and now what we'll do is have them go around the edge of the lake. But we might keep them up at the top grade there and just preserve this sort of bottom section. I think that's nice, that we don't build up around the lake like it's got docks all around it, because otherwise it does look like this and it just doesn't look quite right. We'll keep the game on pause though for the moment. Now we are 1 up there, so if we're 1 up and this is going, what I need to do is send a few of these to the once I've connected up the lines, I'll send them to the nearest depots, and then hopefully that'll fix it. Okay, So it's one up here. So let's use the terrain mod and let's think about where we want this, because we don't mind that. I think I'm going to use the outer line. Yeah, I think I'm going to use that as the as where he comes in. So I think I'll do that, and then it will be cutting in. So if we see where we are at grade, we're one up from sea level. Okay, let's just get this guy. Right there, it looks like we're two up. No, hang on, we're still one up. No. Yep. And we just want to cut into the ridge here and make it look natural, because it doesn't look natural at the moment. Okay, let's just cut into that bit, and then we'll cut into this bit as well. Yeah. Okay, that's good. And we want the line to come across here. And let me just join up this now, and we'll get this guy to turn. All right, let's see where the line would look best cutting along. So we go there, stay fairly close. That's good. Okay, and then if we're looking at an angle across here, it's not too bad actually. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, now I could do this bit by bit actually, and it'll just cut through. As long as it doesn't go up or down, then we're fine. Okay, once it gets through there, what do we think? Let's see, maybe let's go a bit further. Oh, is that the end of a... No, that's just... Yeah, we can keep going there. That's good. And then we come across here. Excellent. This is good. We're on pause, so if we do happen to go up a grade, it won't be an issue. Now that we're here, let's just keep this... Well, yeah, we now know that we can actually fix using the terraforming, we can actually fix this up and just have it at that level. Yeah, because that level will be right on the edge. Yep, that's good. And then here, now we can go like this, and then out of there. Oh, but not that part, because we want it to remain natural to the coastline. So if you're on a boat or whatever, you'd see that that you're up from the lake, you're looking up, and there's a train heading along the side of the mountain, and that would look quite good. So I think that's quite good. Okay, so this would now come here, and we can actually connect up everything. Just do this, and then if we come along, so there, good. Okay, so that means that everything's now connected up, and everything's here. We just need to signal things. This line here, so these trains that are coming out would be able to turn around. This guy here should be able to turn around. This guy should be able to come around. It's this one here is not connected, but it's not taking anything. Everything else has come out anyway. There is a second bridge there as well, so I don't know what to do with that extra bridge. I might leave it there as a discontinued bridge. And then we want to put the road along here as well. But I think now what we can do is, let me just do a couple of temporary signals here. So use a semaphore and say they're going to be going that way. Yeah. And then we now want to do, if I go here, so if I do one there, and then I do my distant signals, I want that to be multiply mode, and I want it to be at 250 meters. Is it? Yeah, 250 meters is good. Yep, there you go. So he puts one in there, one in there. Yep, these are putting about every 250 meters. So that's quite nice. And it should stop at that next bit. Yeah, good. I'll just put an extra one in here. So turn the multiply off. Put an extra one in there. That's good. Okay, cool. So I think we're now signaled up, and they'll just use that one there. So if I go here, and then coming off this, let's do one before the turn, into the turn, into the straight, and then there's a decision to be made here, so we'll put a pre-semaphore or a chain signal in there, and then we'll go back to a block signal here, and this is just the block signal in the opposite direction. Let's put one in the middle of the depot, and then that one's just there, and this one can be a block. He doesn't, oh no, that's actually can be a chain because he's got a decision to make about the depot, so that's nice. Okay, so I think that's good. I'm going to unpause the game, and now we're going to see if we have a couple of trains start freaking out about not being able to get where they need to be. And then what we need to do is this train here, hang on, let me just see, not that, this actual train, yep, and pause the game. So this one here is going from Sandy. He's dropping off at Thamesworth Freight Transfer, and he's taking coal, yeah? But instead of Thamesworth Freight Transfer, I think I'm going to rename this one. Hang on, let me just copy that name. Oop. Thamesworth Freight Transfer. Let's copy that name and then go here and have a look at the other station and just say Thamesworth Freight Transfer. Okay, there's now two with the same name. So I think that could be interesting. Okay, let's go skip order for this guy, and let's go, I'm going to send this guy to the nearest depot. Okay, so these two are going. And yeah, both trains are now moving. Let's go here. Okay, and now we just need to be able to tell all the trains to go to the other one. You're coming through. I think that's a research train. Okay, one vehicle's lost. Which one? Train 4 can't find its way. Why are you lost? Oh, you're going to depot, are you? Oh, the mining is done. Which train is lost? Okay, let's go speed 1. We'll find out which train is lost here. Okay, so you were going from... Let's see what your issue was. I'm lost. A one-way signal on the way. He's going to Thamesworth Freight Transfer. Yep. But he needs to now go to... he can't get there. That's why. Yes, fair enough. Good. Okay, so he doesn't want to go there. He wants to go to this one. Thamesworth Freight Transfer, but the other one. And now, look, he's moving. Yes. Yeah. So he's moving. The only problem there is... I just think we should probably get rid of this station and then start troubleshooting after that. There's no trains there. Let's pause and let's have a look at it. Okay, so we're going to go delete. So we're going to delete the station. Okay. And it'll even tell me what's happening. Let's delete a few things here. And that's good. Okay, and then we should be able to use the control. Oh, we might have got rid of the second bridge just then. No, we didn't. Okay, good. So what it's done there is just preserve the bridge. And we can see there's an old rail bridge that's not being used. And we can use that for capacity a bit later and double track this if we need to. It's a single direction, but we can do double track for extra capacity. Now, we should have a few trains that will alarm and say, I don't have a station to go to. If I go here, okay, so there are now, station was destroyed. There are now 3 trains that still think they're going to that station. So the research train, let's grab that. And the research train will edit it. And we want it to be, please, I'll pick this one. Yep, and that's that. Okay. And then Coal to Platts Bridge. There are 2 trains servicing this route. Come on. Yep, these guys. And we want to go Sandy Northwest, But instead of it being there, we want it to be here. Pick this one and save, and then this guy here, edit, and instead of it being there, we want it to pick this one and remove those two. That's good. Okay, so now the trains will go there, but the products that they need to get are not there. So Tamsworth Road Transfer needs moving as well to here. And this is where we think we want to build a much bigger road transfer. It's great. It frees up a bit of capacity here for these guys. So across here, we need to put a road. And we'll put the road transfer in there. That'll serve us here. But we also need to put, so the road, and then we need to put on the other side of it, the conveyors. And that's bringing the product. I think that's how we want to do it. Yeah, because the wood is just not able to get across. But I think I might do this slightly different here. Yeah, I think I'll do this along here. I think. Let me. Okay. Well, let's do a couple of things here first. We need to. Conveyors can't go around. Conveyors cannot go on a bridge. Okay, let's send the conveyors this way then. Let's send them this way. We can do this. Okay, let's pause this. This is going to be a little bit fiddly, but let's do it. See how conveyors work. Can I go around the corner? For conveyors, I need 2 of them. So let me try this. If I go like this, they're a little bit fiddly for these corners. Yeah, they are a bit fiddly. Okay, let's do it like that. Yep. And then we'll go across here. So the outer one is going to be like that. Now I think to get around this, I'm going to just get rid of that bit of water. Yep. And make it neat by doing that. Nice little trick there. Straight across and come out. And then I need to leave myself a gap of 1 before moving out. So if I do that, yeah, brilliant. Okay, so that's pretty good for these guys. And then over here, we'll come with 1 before where we need to be, then there. And then we'll try and see, conveyor too long. Okay, that's all right. That's fine. We knew it would be the case. We knew it would be the case. So what we'll do is we'll put in a warehouse situation here. Okay, and we'll do this here along the waterfront. It'd be quite nice. Okay, so we'll go that. Use the control button and we'll put a cut in here. Yep, and then we'll just get rid of a little bit more there. Okay, and now let's grab a warehouse. So if I do this, warehouses, we want the old looking warehouses, these ones. Oh, we could put a bunker. Railway bunker. No, let's use these lovely old ones. They'll look nice on the waterfront too. Look at that. Yep, that looks excellent. Should we put it right on the water? That could be good. Oh, that does look good. Yeah, that looks like almost like ships are loading directly into it. Okay, let's do that. I like that. Put one there. Let's do the first one first, the outer one. And let's get a little conveyor device. And it's going to be either conveyor device. You can use these. Oh, that looks nice. Yeah, that's excellent. Excellent. All right, and then outside of it, we want another conveyor device, and it's going to be like that. And connect the conveyor up in the opposite direction, and then we'll turn the direction of the conveyor. Flip. Yep. And then we'll flip these guys so they're heading in that direction. Okay, so the outer one looks like that. And now, if that's the outer one, it's going to be this one over here. So let's use the E, which is the delete, control, which is slice into this line. Yeah, good. and there. And then I'll just duplicate that on the other side. Well, I thought I would. I've missed it. There we go. And now what we want is this conveyor to go underneath. So if I go tunnel T, and he goes down, and he goes up. And then he connects conveyor too long. Why? Oh, because he's hitting a... that's such a pain. Conveyor too long. But those ones are great there. Okay, that's fine. We'll now do conveyor too long. Okay, if that's the case, then we can just do what we did earlier. Let's do E and use the control button. And right behind this garage, we'll put in another one. Yeah, that's another thing I think people are asking for is this this kind of situation when we have no, we don't want that. Yeah, whenever we have these conveyors too long, we have to put a warehouse in as a workaround. But I think a lot of people think that doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense. So I think people want a solution to that one. I know I do. Faces in the right direction at least. Okay, so this will be the outer one. We can use a conveyor device to connect these up. Where's the conveyor device? How are we looking? Oh, the episode is getting long. We'll probably leave this episode here. Let's try and put this right in the middle. Yeah, I'm going to hold the shift key, move around to the other side, and just see if we can get this in the exact opposite. Yeah. But it is coming from the other direction, so why don't we just do that and make it symmetrical either side. Yeah, that's good. Okay, nice. Right, so we'll connect up these, connect up that, and that'll go into there. So I can connect and get the conveyor moving around in between episodes. I'll probably have to put another warehouse around here, and then another one just before the train, and that'll work out. So the train station, that'll work out quite nicely. And if I just unpause the game, see, are any trains a bit lost? No trains are lost. Are they? No. The vehicle is lost. Even the one that was lost is now on his way. Yeah, he's good. So the new station's already doing well, and already not having any issues. And this, I think the only issue here is it's trying to unload coal onto these trucks, and the trucks are just not able to get across because we want to put a road bridge in. I'm just going to take a moment now to see if I can extend the road bridge and make this look pretty good. So let's do that on camera as well. So if I go terraforming, and I want a bit of a gap here for these guys. So let me drop this down and just say, right, the road needs 3 voxels, I think. So if I go like that, yeah. If I do that, oh no, you want the oh no. Well, I just accidentally got rid of just a bit of water there. So that was a shame. Once you get rid of that, you can't undo it. So you gotta be careful of that. Yeah, once you move the water out of the way, trouble. Okay, so that'd be 1, 2, 3. I think the road is 3 across. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. The road's right there. Okay, and I want that to come out to the equivalent over here. So use the terraforming very carefully again. So if I look at that, I'm looking at, yeah, 3 more. Okay, so we come down and let's just do a little bit to start with. Then we'll come out, and now we've got that little bit there. Now, grab the road, and now we're going to put a bridge in. We're going to come across to here. Go bridge, and move the cursor height down to 0, not 1. And that bridge isn't good. A wide arch bridge is not too bad. There's an arch bridge or a wide arch bridge. Actually, the first one looks a lot better. Let's do that, because look at those arches, they fit quite well. Yeah, let's do that. And that's good. That's what I wanted. I want to see the river. You see a rail bridge next to a road bridge, and I want to replicate that. So that's quite good. Now, I might be able to even go around this water tower as well, I think. So that could be quite good. And we'll just follow this along here. It's going to have to go up and across. In fact, on that edge of the road, we could probably have this just come off and have that as a bit more of a yeah, maybe even just a right angle straight across. Yeah, like an industrialized wharf. Let's do it now. Let's do it now. I think we're doing that, aren't we? We're going to do it like this. Is that how we're doing it? Okay, I want to go, is it removing one? Oh, it's deeper water. Okay. Look at that, much deeper water. Well, I think it won't make a difference. I think we'll come across to here, and that'll just work nicely. Okay, I'm going to now delete this. I think it will work out pretty well if I just do that. Yep. And then if we just come across, I'm going to try and preserve this last bit of coastline. But I don't think we're going to be able to do that there. Okay, I think I know what to do here. Let's use the lower. Let's look at it from above. Take this down to bedrock. Let's do it out a bit as well. Yeah. And use the flatten tool to do that. Now, pick the road, but we're going to have to remove. So we use the E key and the control, and we say gone, gone, gone. Okay, and then let's see if that's the right spot to put the road. No. Oh, and we've had a house spawn in there. Okay, I'm going to use the E key, the control, and just take away one more voxel up, one more voxel of road. There we go. And put the, I'm going to press pause. And doesn't seem to be yeah, if I do that. Oh yeah, that's good. That is good. That's also nice. And then we want to come across here. And can't build here. I think that's a, yeah. Well, it's going to be a zigzag road. There we go. It is going to be one of those. We'll keep this little intersection there as well. It's quite nice. Makes it look a bit more industrial as well. If we hit the speed 1 key and we just watch it, nothing's getting lost. This is great. In Voxel Tycoon, if you're building and when you unpause the game, if there's pathfinding that's been destroyed by what you've built, then you'll get all the errors. But jumping in here and unpausing it, we just like completely removed this station and remapped everything, and nothing's getting lost, which is really good. So that's kind of good. Okay, so I need to move this road transfer. I'll do that in between episodes. I need to move the 2 different wood beams and wood planks over to the station, and I'll do that in between episodes. Finish the conveyors, and this section will be done. I think as well I'll just start getting a stone mine together, flatten this area out, put about 5 or 6 stone mines on, and get those at least going into a warehouse facility close to the station. And then we'll look at next episode moving those guys over to Research World to get the latest research done, which requires stone. So I hope you enjoyed that episode. Don't forget to leave a comment and a like. Subscribe to the rest of the channel if you feel like it. I'm also playing Factorio at the moment and some Planet Coaster as well. So I look forward to seeing you over there. Cheers.